Our techno-billionaire and AI developer overlords are having a pretty crappy week as an AI data center war is igniting across the country. Yeah, ever since good old DT made it a top priority for the United States to be a world leader in whatever the hell this is, more and more AI data centers have been popping up across the country, polluting waterways, hiking electricity bills, and being a general disturbance to often rural communities. But it's the people in these towns and cities, along with elected representatives like AOC and Bernie Sanders, who are actually standing up and fighting back against Donald Trump's deregulated AI data center craziness. And even now, just today, it was announced that entire states, in this case, the state of Maine, is outright banning all data center construction for the foreseeable future. So if you're not a fan of AI data centers polluting your waterways or raising your electrical bill, then this will be quite the treat. But before we get too into the weeds here, be sure to subscribe to US Democratic Socialists for more good news like this you don't want to miss. All right, let's jump into this clip here of Imperial Valley residents protesting and running an AI developer out of a county meeting. Here's the man in question, our developer. This must be his partner in crime, his crony in command. And this crowd is really letting them have it. And off they go, into the sunset, never to be seen again. Well, we don't know about that. So we saw a crowd right there using peaceful protests and their voices and advocacy to actually push out an AI developer there. And they were shouting fuera at them, which just means out, get out, right? Get the hell out of our city. They are not wanted here. And I think that was made pretty clear by what they showed there. But even though this protest was peaceful, we have been seeing a rise of actually violent crime in association with protesting data centers. For example, we have this case here of a targeted shooting at the home of an Indianapolis City County councilor, which includes a message that is staunchly anti-data center. So the article here mentions that the councilor, Ron Gibson, said that his home was the target of an overnight shooting incident, and then that a message was left on his doorstep that says, "No data centers." So clearly motivated by this, policy to probably put a data center into some community, resulting in a shooting, a violent incident. Thankfully, no one was harmed, no injuries were reported, but clearly a very insane act to take against a city council representative when, there's definitely other means available for you there. There was also this case of a person who was arrested on Friday after throwing a Molotov cocktail at the house of CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, in San Francisco. So again, another violent form of protest against these AI data centers, and just more keep happening. People's frustrations are boiling to a point of inexcusable violence. However, others have protested in different means, like through the polls, where this Missouri city actually voted out 4 of their council members after they did sign on to create a $6 billion data center. They were voted out by their constituents because of this, objection to this whole idea. So another non-violent way of protesting these data centers. The discontent is there, and we just see it growing and growing in different forms across the country. Everywhere it's popping up in violent and in non-violent means. But there may be a better resolution ahead. Maine just passed a moratorium today that on any data center over 20 megawatts cannot be built in the state of Maine until at least November of 2027. And Maine is doing this as response to so many different crappy things that data centers are doing to them, right? They increase electricity bills by up to 60%. Their grid can't handle the extra load of electricity. There was just people protesting their creation altogether. The state still does ban nuclear reactors, which is a big L in my opinion, but that also causes a lot of problems creating the energy necessary for data centers. So there's literally nowhere for the power to come from. So instead of trying to force it in or push these weird things, the governor, along with the House, passed a resolution to just ban their construction until there's actually a proper way to properly implement the system without it harming communities and destroying the environment and all that crap. And Maine isn't alone. There's at least 12 other states that have similar bills in the works, including Virginia and Georgia, and Bernie Sanders himself has pushed for a federal version of this moratorium. And hopefully this is just the beginning, because we have people in government working on this. Bernie Sanders has been an advocate for a federal moratorium against AI data center construction for months, as they are just a way for the rich to get even richer. He writes on Twitter, "Trump wants to deregulate AI and let the richest people on earth do whatever they want, and that is unacceptable. We will make the oligarchs richer while millions lose jobs and income. AI must improve life for all of us, not just make a few multi-billionaires even more powerful." But we may not even need it, as the AI data center boom is cracking, right? Nearly 50% of planned US data centers for 2026 are expected to be delayed or canceled. And this is a huge win for local communities, environmentalists everywhere, and also people who just want things to slow down. But it's not that Bernie or people who want to hold on these things don't see a future in AI, right? It's how we implement it into our society that's the problem. We need to do it in a safe and effective manner. Here is a clip of Bernie Sanders talking to Hank Green about this exact issue.
Like, okay, everybody, let's slow down. And then nobody did even a little bit.
What they said is, hey, we are moving really fast. We're not quite sure where we are going, but it could be in a dangerous place. Slow it down. And then they said, interestingly enough, if we don't slow it down, government should come in and demand a moratorium on development, which is what Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and I have done. We have brought forth a moratorium on the construction of new data centers to basically not only protect people's communities, but also to slow down the process so we can get our hands around it and make sure that AI works for people, not just for billionaires.
It could be as simple as, the speed with which this transition happens is in part the harm. If we can do it a little more slowly, not just government regulation can respond, but like the market can respond, the systems can respond. Instead of like jobs going away and not knowing what the new jobs are, you give some time for the new jobs to arrive.
Very short clip from a very phenomenal conversation. If you have the time, I highly, highly recommend you go check it out. And Bernie is right on the money yet again, right? Slow it down. Right? AI is probably going nowhere, right? We know this, but it's not going to be in the same form that it is now, right? It's going to change and adapt and grow and be different than what it is today. We will use it for things that we never thought we would use it for, right? AI is not forever going to be a chatbot or a image generator, right? That is just what's selling AI right now to the general public and all these investors pumping hundreds of billions of dollars into it, right? But if we slow it down, actually take a breather and figure this shit out, then maybe, just maybe, we can create a future with AI or whatever it may be, all of this new technology to actually help people, not hurt them. I know, that's a crazy radical idea, right? Let's help people. But I think it's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around until the end. I really appreciate it. If you like what you saw in this video, be sure to leave a like down below, as well as subscribe to the channel. It's a great way to show your support, and also comment. I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this and more. All right, that's going to do it for me. I'm Iago Lashua. Have a great day. Goodbye.